Hey guys, what's going on? This is your old pal CHH. We just got out of the theater of seeing the 2025 version of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Pretty excited for this one. Truth be told, when it comes to those 90s kind of Scream-esque slasher films, my favorite is actually I Know What You Did Last Summer. I think it's really more so the aesthetic. I'm not going to come on here and claim that the writing or the story is necessarily like better than Scream, but aesthetic-wise, I really dig being near the water, the whole fisherman gimmick. I just think it's creepy, and I've always been a big fan of it. When it comes to the sequel, I think it's funny and good, but then the third one, I don't pretend exists, probably like the rest of you. When it comes to this new one, if you guys are familiar with my channel, you know I don't watch trailers. I don't like watching them whatsoever anymore. I really enjoy going into the theater now and just seeing a movie without knowing anything about it. Now, obviously, it's impossible to be online and not know that, Freddy and Jennifer were going to be back in this film. So I knew that. But other than that, I didn't know anything else. So going into it, I was pretty damn excited. Now, let's get into it. I always like to answer the question right up front. Did I like the film? Kinda, yeah. More so yeah than no. We'll get into that more, and of course, before I do any spoilers, I'll let you know. To set up a small premise for this movie, what you're going to see is, pretty familiar to what you would see like in the first movie. We got a group of mid-20s getting together. This big party for this girl getting engaged. She's kind of the center of attention with this friend group, and by the end of the night, they all decide to make it old school back in their high school days, get in the car, go drive down by a certain location you probably remember from the first movie, and lo and behold, a horrible accident occurs. Now, what happens after that? Pretty much identical to the first movie. They say, we're not going to say anything about this. That sets up the remake for, or whatever you want to call this, the requel, the Halloween 2018 of I Know What You Did Last Summer films. Whatever you want to call it, whatever name you want to give it, that sets up this movie. So like I said, this part will be spoiler-free. Before I get into any sort of spoilers, I'll let you know. But as a whole, what did I like about this movie? Here's the biggest plus, I will say. Now, this is not going to spoil or give anything away. The fisherman killer in this, for the most part, when you see him on screen, it is so domineering. It feels so brutal and intense, and you're actually in fear of the fisherman when you see the fisherman on screen. I give props to that. I think that was done in a better way than any of them before, in my humble opinion. I mean, I'm not saying that this is the best one. I clearly still think the original is the best one, but I actually was like, damn, when the fisherman was in this one and a lot of the scenes, the force was there, and you really felt like they were in trouble. And the way they shot the fisherman, they had great angles when he was coming in. Just felt like a powerhouse and felt unstoppable. It almost reminded me, and I got to give credit to this movie, even though nobody really liked this movie, the way the Hard Eyes Killer was. When the Hard Eyes Killer was on screen, it was a force, a tour de force, and you felt the power. Same way with this one. I really like that because for me now, when I watch slasher films, I'm not into seeing the slasher killers that look like they weigh like 70 pounds and they're intimidated by it. I see it all the time. And this one, the fisherman was a freaking brute. So that I really, really liked. In terms of the cast, obviously, for the most part, this movie is centered around a new group of young people. Didn't really feel one way or the other about them. And honestly, that's fine. When it comes to movies like these, like I'm somewhere stuck in between. I was a little too young to really live and feel connected to the original, although I grew up watching that one. And I'm a little older than the group that's in this movie, so I just don't know which way to go watching it. They were all fine. I didn't really dislike anybody. And the way the movie flowed felt very matter of fact to the previous ones. I don't feel like they did anything to try to shift the tone or anything. If anything, it felt very much like an I Know What You Did Last Summer movie, which in a sense, maybe they're just like, hey, let's not rock the boat. Let's give the people nostalgia candy and make it feel like an old I Know What You Did Last Summer movie. If that's the case, okay, I'm fine with that. The use of the legacy characters, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Freddie Prinze Jr., obviously I'm going to keep this part spoiler-free still. For the most part, was happy with it. I loved seeing Jennifer in this film, and I think when you first are introduced to her, she's wearing a Disintegration Cure shirt, which obviously wins me over big time. I'm a huge fan of The Cure, and I thought Jennifer was great. I'm not going to say if there's any more. Obviously, they were on the promotion for everything. Everybody knew that, so I'm not going to say anything else in terms of whether there may or may not be different legacy characters. You'd have to see the movie to find that out. But those two, for the most part, I liked it. Overall, there was one thing that just annoyed me, and this is something that, like, I've seen this before, and I'm just like, roll my eyes at it every time. Whenever you have characters in these movies that are like either horror fan type characters or horror podcasters, it's the stereotype of making them talk creepy and just like have an edge to them. Please, like, I'm so sick and burnt out on stuff like that. They did that in this one, and I just rolled my eyes the entire time. It's like, yeah, I have a horror YouTube channel for the most part. Do you think I walk around and I talk like this and I just try? It's like, come on, like, can we get away from that crap? It's like, we've made so much great strides making people of these movies like not be so stereotypical, but that we have to like shove that down everybody's throats. Oh, if you're a horror podcaster or if you're any sort of true crime, you talk like this and you have to be mysterious. Stop it, please, stop it. Overall, it's just like, I feel like this movie is okay. It's entertaining, but nothing about it really shouted out to me like, oh, wow, they're really going there with this or really improving something in this movie by doing something like this. It felt pretty safe with the exception of a few things, which I'll get into in the spoiler section. But overall, it was fine. Like, where would I rank it? Obviously, I like it better than the third one. I'd have to rewatch it again and rewatch I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Overall, I like it. I'm not in love with it. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's the best horror movie this year. But I thought it was fine. And you know what? That's probably good enough for an I Know What You Did Last Summer movie. There's a big fan base for the original. I don't know how many people are chomping at the bit to see this requel or whatever you want to call it. But I think if you're a fan of the old movies, for the most part, you'll be like, well, that was pretty fun, but it's not going to change your world or probably rock the boat too much. Like I said, there's things I definitely enjoyed about it. The fisherman stuff, I love the most because they shot that all really well and made him just seem like such a monster. But, you know, everything else was just okay. I don't really have any major complaints, but I also don't have any major positives of things that they did that really improved from the old film. So, overall, I'll give it one thumb up. And honestly, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Definitely recommend seeing it. Whether it's in the theater or not, it's really up for you to decide. But I think you'll have a good time one way or the other. And I think for a lot of people, I think they'll probably feel that way. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I feel like they'll be like, okay, this is fine. I had a pretty good time with this. So that's my overall thoughts in a spoiler-free section. I'll give it one thumb up. Now let's get into the spoiler section. So 3, 2, 1... All right, guys, in terms of spoiler stuff, the whole twist at the end where you find out that one of the friends in the friend group was a part of this, and then you find out Freddie Prinze was also the other person, and they were intertwined, it's like, really, that part I didn't like. Although, the only thing I did like about it is when you obviously get the reveal that the girl was a part of it. She was a pretty little girl. She looked like she weighed like 80 pounds. I was like, okay, if they're going to try to tell me that that was the fisherman killer who looked like Brock Lesnar in the suit walking around wrecking shop, you like just slashing like a son of a gun, like, you really, you're going to try to make me believe that? Then when you get the reveal of Freddie Prinze being the other person, I was like, okay, that's cool, but at the same time, I was like, why do we got to do my boy like that? Like, I loved him in the original films, and the whole thing of, it's almost like a Freddy Krueger thing. They were trying to make the town, like, forget of what happened, and he's just like, everybody's forgetting what happened to us. We got to make them remember. I was just like, I didn't roll my eyes at it, but I was just kind of like, okay, fine. It just is what it is. What should they have done differently? I mean, they definitely set it up to make you think it was the priest the whole time. At a certain point, you're like, oh, so it's the priest. And it seems like it was right there for you to realize. And then they did the swerve. So it just is what it is. I wasn't really enamored with the reveals or the twists about this. I appreciate the bait and switch for sure, but at the end, I just wasn't too enamored by any of that. Overall, I like seeing Jennifer in here. I would have liked her head a little bit more, but her screen time, everything that she did, I enjoyed. But I am a big fan of her, so sue me. I may not be as critical as I should be on her. Overall, it's just a fine movie. I mean, I think it'll probably get more in the middle of the road reviews, maybe even a little bit lower. But for me, I'll give it right down the middle. 3 stars, 2.5, 3 stars. I'll go 3 stars. It's fine. It's fine. I enjoyed it, but I was not and I wasn't like mega impressed by it either. I got done with it and I was like, this was all right. This was all right, you know. And it is what it is, guys. So that's where I feel about the whole movie. I think, like I said, the best thing about this was the way they shot the fisherman and all those scenes. They did a great job of that and making them just seem like you were like, oh shit. And the sound stuff when you would hear him walk up with the big boom, boom. So that was great. So that's how I feel about it, guys. It's fine. I don't think it's going to be anybody's favorite horror movie of the year. But that's me. Let me know how you guys feel about it. That was I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. Thank you guys for watching this. Please drop a like on this video if you have not yet and leave your comment below. And thank you for watching. This is your old pal CHH. Take care, guys. Huge giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.